Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of The People's Rose. I'm Jared,
I'm Brooke.
and we're a married couple, a happily married couple, and we love to watch and talk about reality TV. We love it so much, in fact, that we started a podcast, The People's Rose. We watch, all the reality TV shows we watch, which are Big Brother, Bachelorette, most of the Love is Blinds, even the internationals. All of Real Housewives on Brooke's side. We watch a lot of competitive reality TV, including the CBS shows. We watch tons of shows, and we talk about it here. And this has just been an action-packed reality TV summer, don't you think, Brooke?
Yeah, for sure.
We've had so much going on. Sometimes it's felt a little overwhelming, but if you feel that way too, don't worry. We've broken it down into 2 episodes this week. We planned to have 2 last week. We didn't quite get to it, but we're going to have 2 this week coming out about all of our favorite shows. But we want to go ahead and get started, jump right into it. Let's talk about The Bachelor this week. This was Hometown Week.
Hometown.
And that's a landmark week. It's like truly the first time they're going to get a full day together. They're going to get to see family and friends.
Yeah.
And this is Jenn's hometown. Jenn's hometowns. What are our thoughts?
Oh, man. Jenn, there's nobody. Okay, there's a clear front runner. There's a clear person that she is very into, and they are very into her. Mm-hmm. Everybody else, it's kind of just like, I don't know. Right. So she literally, after all of the hometowns, told everyone she was falling for them except for Jeremy. So It was pretty obvious that Jeremy was going home.
Yeah, I think she told when Jeremy said, "Oh, I'm falling for you," she just said, "Oh, that makes me so happy."
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I see it as I see it as again, pretty obvious. I think we all know Devin appears to be the front runner, especially with Jonathan kind of taking a few steps back, with Marcus kind of withholding. Mm-hmm. Jonathan, right?
Yeah.
And so he seems to be all steam ahead right now. And Jeremy, I was shocked he made it here. I feel like he wouldn't have made it here.
Wait, why do you think Jonathan took a few steps back?
Because Jonathan is I don't know if I'm ready. You know what I mean? I don't know if I feel ready. If this is real, I'm not opening myself up. Yeah. And she was starting to feel that as well.
Yeah.
She basically asked each one that she had doubts with. Not doubts, or there were doubts with her. At least maybe she asked all of them, but the edit showed her asking Jonathan's family, like, "Do you think he's ready?" She asked Jeremy's family, "Do you think he's ready?" And so on and so forth. I think that was a theme of the men feeling a little apprehensive about this stage and being this committed to what am I saying here? To Jenn.
Yeah. The families were pretty clear cut. I will say Jeremy's sister was a standout for sure. She was very skeptical of the whole process, definitely. I feel like. Uh-huh. And Jenn had told her, or I guess Jenn said, I don't really know if Jeremy's been fully vulnerable with me.
Yes.
And so then the sister went back to Jeremy and was like, she said you're not being fully open with her.
Right.
She doesn't know if you're into it or ready. Right. And I think she did. Didn't she ask the sister if he was ready? If she thought he was ready?
Well, that's what I'm saying. She asked all of them.
Yeah.
Except for Devin's, because it seemed clear that he was.
Yeah.
And if you remember, another thing about Jonathan taking a step back, on the lacrosse date, he did say, didn't he say I kind of holding back a little bit? You know what I mean? I just want to be sure. Didn't he say that to her?
Yeah, he did say that.
That's what I mean by it's not just all steams ahead with these guys anymore. Roadblocks have surfaced.
Right.
So.
Okay, all of their dates were pretty lame.
Okay, we got lacrosse with Jeremy. I thought that was fun.
But she had already played lacrosse with Jonathan.
Yeah. But they were on the field. They got dressed up. They had the actual, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's part of it. And Jeremy's, that was lame. Grocery shopping.
It was kind of a cool grocery store, though. I'm not going to lie.
It was your average.
I would kind of like it.
It was your average grocery store.
Do you think his aunt being there was a total shock?
I don't know. I have no clue. I think
he seemed legitimately surprised that she was there.
But I wouldn't put it past her to have been like, because, I mean, it's not like she didn't see the camera crew, you know what I mean?
Well, true.
So, you know, how often are they filming in that grocery store?
True.
And she probably knew her nephew. They were in town. Okay, so, who knows? Then we had, Devon's was a fun run.
The running club.
Can
you imagine if you were like, hey, Brooke, we're going to go running with all my friends? I would be dying in like 5 seconds.
Yeah, that would not have been the date for you. But she's athletic, so she enjoyed it. Yeah, you know, it was Houston. It wasn't the most representative of Houston a date could be. But it was better than...
What would be a representative date of Houston?
Sitting in traffic for 2 hours.
Eating good food.
Yeah.
Got good food here.
Trouble trying to find parking or whatever. Even though half the city is a parking lot. But no, yeah. So that was, you're right. It wasn't oh, wow, that's a crazy cool date. And then Marcus's was, dang, what was
it? I don't think they even showed it.
Yeah, I guess because I think we just met the family.
Yeah.
If it was something before that, it was so boring we've forgotten it.
Yeah.
So I agree. The hometowns, I think, weren't as crazy. I don't know if it's the guys and the producers not being able to come up with something that awesome, or if it's just in general we've seen so much. COVID and all that has kind of changed how these shows are produced and budgets and stuff like that.
I mean, the whole season has felt very low budget.
Truly.
They haven't even been, well, other than that they are traveling a lot.
Well, a lot, I don't know if that's the case because they went to Australia and New Zealand. That's on the other side of the world. But that's really all they did. The other 2 stops were America. They started off in Arizona.
True.
Spent some time in Australia and New Zealand. They came back to Seattle. Which is okay. I don't know if it's just rose-colored glasses, but in the past I envisioned it being more like the Amazing Race almost, and like you'd be in this European country, then you would fly here, then you'd fly here.
Maybe.
Or maybe it's always only been a couple stops.
But it's easy to do that in European countries because they're so small and so close.
And close together. Yeah. I would say, it definitely, I wouldn't say it's felt low budgets, but it's definitely felt a lower spectacle. How many times can we see her jump off a building, jump out of an airplane, get on a helicopter ride? You know what I mean? But the dates themselves weren't the most exciting part. I would say the other standouts from the hometown dates would have to be, let me think this through. Oh, we got to see Devon's family, his grandparents, and his dad, his stepdad, and his mom.
And his bio dad.
I said his dad and his stepdad.
Oh.
And so that was interesting. She confirmed that she didn't always model the best behavior.
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty big thing to admit as a parent.
Right. Sometimes I'm like, man, they're really dogging these parents when they're like, we didn't have the traditional upbringing.
Right.
It was different. But no, she said the same. And so that's kind of reflects Jen's experience as well, which she said. But Jenn said that a lot of times too. And then we heard it from her mom being like, well, you don't always have the traditional.
Well, so and like I wanted to give you a good dad, and I didn't.
Right, which is so interesting. As a parent, sometimes I'm like, or thinking from a parent perspective, or just any perspective, I'm always just like, I guess maybe I'm privileged because I had, my mother and my father, they stuck together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But from the outside perspective, I definitely didn't think of people who had single parents or mixed families as like, wow, what a failure. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I didn't look at my friends and go like, well, hope you make it, man. You know what I mean? You have a stepdad. Whoa, your mom has had a couple boyfriends. It's over for you, bro. I never thought like that. So I'm always kind of like, dang, that's a big thing people bring up. I don't know why they bring it up, but clearly it impacts them.
I think so. I think it impacts them even sometimes more as an adult than as the kid going through it. They kind of look back and they're like, "Oh, wait, what?"
Yeah. It's interesting. It's also such a line we get all the time in Bachelor, like, "Oh, my parents divorced. I don't want to. I understand."
Mm-hmm.
Or my parents have been married and stuck together forever. That's what I want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm like, so it just comes down to what you want.
Yeah.
You can model, but that's an easier thing said than done. Okay, and then we go ahead.
Oh, now I'm remembering too, because I remember Jonathan was on their date. He was talking about, I've kind of been holding back because of that past relationship that I told you about.
Right.
Now I'm remembering that. Because his family, I can't remember his family dynamic. Oh, I just remember his brother and sister-in-law.
Yes.
Remember? She's like, "Oh, well, we met and moved in together after 3 weeks and then got married or got engaged after 3 months, so we can relate to your story." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And then Jen went and sat down and talked with him, and his brother was just like, "Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. This is too weird for me." And exactly. I'm like, "Bro, what?"
Right.
That was weird, right?
It definitely was. It was a change of pace from how you thought they were presented, this quick thing, but maybe it's like I wasn't ready, and it worked out. But those first couple months, I was ready to pull the trigger.
Okay, but then say that. Don't just then get all weird and like basically.
Well, you want to say that in front of your wife? Maybe your wife was always like, "We can get married now. We should get married now. We should get it now." And he was always like, "I don't know." He was the Willie to her Francesca. Maybe that's a Love Is Blind reference for those who don't watch Love Is Blind Mexico. We'll talk about it next episode. But that was a change of pace.
And I guess I don't know his family history.
Well, yeah, they didn't get deep dive into.
And we only saw his dad for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that was his dad.
Yeah, we don't even know if it was his dad.
Right. So, but they didn't dive into it, so it didn't seem relevant to his story.
I just was wondering if there was any of the guys were like, "Oh, my parents had a great relationship and they've been married for X amount of years," but maybe Jeremy?
I don't remember Jeremy saying that explicitly.
Yeah.
But that seemed to be the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had the Jeremy date, we had the Jonathan family stuff, we had the Devin stuff. Lastly, we had Marcus, who was not able to meet his foster parents.
He said adoptive parents.
Adoptive parents, you're right.
So we don't really know what the story is there.
Right, because he didn't really detail it when he talked about his foster history. But we got to meet what he considered to be his family from Seattle, where the people he cared and loved about most all seem to be. So mentors, I believe, is what he described them as, an older couple who kind of were the stand-ins for those paternal figures. And it was very interesting. They were almost like bragging or about like, "Hey, we're an intimidating bunch to meet." You know what I mean? Like, feel bad. I feel a little bad for Jen. And I'm like, "Wow, what? You know what I mean? I didn't understand that. Maybe they're talking about, I don't know. Maybe are they all military? And so it's just the fact that it's a bunch of...
I think so, because he had mentioned they were there for him when he like first went into the military.
Right. So, I mean, maybe that plays a part into it. I'm not really sure. But, they seem to be... in reaction to Jen, they all seem to like Jen, including all the other 3 guys' families. No one seemed to have bad reaction to her. And that's another thing about Jen, is that she's very well spoken. Like going and looking, like seeing how she answered everyone's questions, how she described being in love with multiple guys at the same time, all that good stuff. She didn't have any issues with that. She was able to communicate her thoughts clearly, even with the tough questions like, "Oh, are you in love with her, son? Are you in love with other guys?" She's like, I do have feelings, of course. I wouldn't be at any of these guys' houses if I hadn't got there. I thought she handled that pretty well.
Yeah, she did.
Especially seeing how poorly some other people have handled these conversations in other reality TV shows we've watched this week. I think it goes to show how into it. I mean, no, how well of a communicator she was.
Yeah.
But back to Marcus, I think Marcus was really, really being vulnerable with his doubts. He was one of the guys that are like, "This is good." Jonathan said as much as well. Like, he wanted this family experience to show or illuminate his own feelings to himself. I've never really understood that. So many people say that, but they're like, I'll know for sure from how my family reacts. And so that's what he was looking. He was asking.
Some people really value their parents' opinions. Not that you don't, but I think. Oh, sorry.
If you could silence yourself, that'd be great.
Sorry. But I think some people really are like, if we go meet my family and you don't fit in, it's not going to work. Or you don't mesh well, it's not going to work. Yeah,
and that's an interesting perspective. But, yeah, he wanted to see, like, he explained his vulnerabilities to the guy, the mentor figure, and just kind of just was looking for an answer. And it seemed to be most of the advice and that all the parents and family and friends gave was like, you're in this, you got to commit to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How can you? There's no point in holding back. Let's just give it your all, which I think is good advice. This is the best.
Yeah, wasn't it Jonathan's mom who was like, you need to tell her. If you love her, you need to tell her because you don't want to have regrets.
Right.
And if it does fall apart, we'll be here. We'll get through it. But, you need to just tell her. I thought that was really good advice.
It was the same advice everyone's parents gave because that's what caused Jeremy to say it.
Yeah.
That's what caused Jonathan to say it. That's what caused Marcus to say it. It's almost like the producers were running their favorite playbook.
Well, I'm sure, yeah. But Marcus still was so hesitant.
Yeah, he definitely was. Like, it wasn't, he communicated that he was falling for her. But when all the guys, which was a weird scene, when they had the guys meet up at the bar, and they're all like, "Yeah, I'm all in." We
have never done that before.
I don't want to say never,
Jarrett.
They definitely had post hometown.
Maybe like in the hotel.
Yeah. But you're right. Just an outing that was weird.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, we're best friends, getting a beer together."
It was probably to get that scene that they got. Which was the more expressing of doubt from Marcus.
Yeah, and he was context. He was crying before he basically was like, I guess I'm gonna go home because I'm not all the way in. I'm sure she can tell.
And it's so crazy because he's not all the way in, got a rose, and Jeremy was for sure he was getting one, and was fully committed. But I don't know if it was. I think even the people around him were like, "Are you like? Have y'all had deep conversations?" But he was like, "No, the vibes are good." I can see it working out.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that, but I think it's fair to say, like, well, at this point, maybe you need to have a little more.
That's true. Yeah.
So, so he's just seeing how in tune into the process all the other guys are, and he's thinking he's crazy. And in reality, Marcus, no, you're not crazy. No one dates like this in the real world. It's like 100% of people, have not dated like this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that weird to feel that way. But you did sign up for it, so it is what it is, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
They have the rose ceremony. Jeremy's confident he's gonna get a rose, but he, of course, as everyone knew at this point, except him, maybe he wasn't getting the rose and is sent home.
Yep.
I don't even remember like a big hubbub like, "Oh, why did she choose me?" scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there really wasn't.
Yeah, he's kind of telling a little bit, but
yeah,
I just I think he should just been happy to get worse as far as he got. So we saw in the preview tons of doubt, and I don't think I can get there.
Yeah,
and I need more from you or something.
Yeah,
like, I'm sorry, I can't give you. Just all of the doubt.
Yeah.
Which was the bulk of what the season was teased as, like, oh, it gets, you know what I mean?
Right.
So my question is, what do you think is in the air that is causing everybody to like all of a sudden go like, I don't know.
I think it's the people. Like, I think it's the people that she picked.
Yeah, you did say that.
I think she has almost like an attraction to people who are not 100% in, or not like, or who are like a little bit, I don't want to say problematic because that doesn't feel right.
I think
but
you call them fixer-uppers.
Yeah, maybe fixer-uppers. Because even like, think about Devin. Like, his personality is not for everyone.
Yeah, but that doesn't make you a fixer-upper. He seems the most into her and ready to commit.
No, in the preview, he was like, I don't know. I don't know if I see myself getting engaged.
Right, and I hear that, and I see it on the preview, but I'm just like, what causes such a radical shift? I'm almost wondering if it's an editing thing.
Yeah, maybe. I will say, I don't think Jonathan is really a fixer-upper, but I think he is maybe not fully ready to be in a serious relationship.
And then Love is Blind, in the Love is Blind universe, they have to pick whether they get married in a month. They have to decide at the altar. If it was Jonathan and Jenn, I feel like he would be the let's not get married but keep dating because there's more questions.
I feel like she might be too.
Oh, definitely. At the start of the season, for sure. 100%. She would have not married anyone.
Yeah.
But she seems to be heading that direction, trending that way of wanting to get engaged.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that happens with Jonathan, regardless. If even if he was the only person. Same thing with Marcus. But I think with Marcus, after seeing, like, at this point, you should have feelings.
Yeah.
He almost is like, I'm not even feeling it. It's the vibe. He was like, she's a great girl. I want to get there with her, but I'm just feeling it.
And he's like, I just don't know what's wrong.
You're
so
right.
do you think he self-evicts?
Maybe, because we see someone does, because she says that at some point, I'm tired of men controlling what happens. So if a man makes a choice that late in the game, and she's like, ugh, I'm tired of this, I'm doing
and
something.
Maybe that's why she ultimately ends up proposing, because Devin is like, I don't know if I can do it if there's other people here,
or Jonathan. But the key is, it is Devin, because she's looking up, and at this point, Devin's the tallest. But she says, I can't let you propose.
Right.
So it's almost not like, oh, you're not going to propose, so I'm going to do it.
Right.
It's saying, I can't let you propose. So you're saying, oh, he's saying, I don't want to. And so she's saying, I want to. No, she's saying, you want to, but I can't let you. I'll do it.
What? Is that not the same exact thing?
No, it's totally different.
I'm not following.
Okay. I don't want to go to the store. This JB saying, I don't want to get in the car. And then your response is, JB screaming, our son is screaming, I don't want to get in the car. I don't want to get in the car. And your response is, I can't let you get in the car. I'm going to put you in the car. Doesn't make any sense. But if JB is like, I want to crawl in there myself. I want to crawl in there myself. I want to crawl in there myself. And you said, I can't let you crawl in there myself. I'm going to put you in there. That's the difference. Do you not see the difference?
So you're not saying that...
I'm saying, so whoever's up there at the final
wants to propose. Okay.
And she's saying, I can't let you.
I see.
So anyways, that's where it looks like we're heading. It's I think the way that they've slammed off of the Devin villain edit, the way they're propping him up as the most emotionally ready for the last couple episodes, and the way they didn't ask if he was ready in the hometowns or show her asking that, it's kind of leading me to believe he's going to be our final.
I don't think so.
Which is, hey, go Houston. Houston.
Well, it'll be interesting. On their date, he said, like, she loves me for every single thing about me. She doesn't judge me. Which, does she really know everything about him at this point? Probably not. And she was like, yeah, I do. So I'm like, how is that going to translate? Is that going to last? We'll see.
I think whatever happens, I think we're in for a interesting finale.
For sure.
And we're excited about it. I mean, there's only those 4 dates. Do we have any other speculation on Jenn? Any other outside stuff we want to talk about related to it?
I think that's it.
Did you sign up your friend to be on?
No, I talked to her. Okay, I talked to her and I got the deets, the personal deets. I need to go do that today.
You should do
we'll do that today.
Because Sam's ticking.
I know.
They need to meet your friend.
I know. They're probably going to do like an open casting and she needs to be there.
Right. So, okay. So we'll give an updated status on that. It would be nice to know someone who went on a reality show. So that'll be fun. If we don't have anything else on The Bachelor, The Bachelorette. Have I been saying The Bachelor this whole time?
I don't know. I never call it the right thing.
We'll go ahead and end it there. But that's not all we watched this week. We watched all of our favorite shows. It's unfortunate that Claim to Fame.
Yeah. Oh, I was just going to say, sadly, Claim to Fame did not have an episode this week, but next week is a 2-hour finale.
Yeah, we think it didn't have an episode because of the DNC airing its wall-to-wall coverage for 8 hours every night this past week. Since the DNC possibly blocked Claim to Fame, I do want to say, in this little moment where we would normally talk about Claim to Fame, TMZ, we do have beef. You did confirm that Beyonce was going to be at the DNC along with other outlets Friday. That didn't happen.
Okay, but not only that, who was it that was saying there was going to be someone bigger than Oprah there?
Yeah, there was a rumor going around. And I'm okay, actually, with the rumor spreading, But to come out as a news organization, TMZ, and say it's confirmed Beyonce will be performing and be dead wrong. Yeah. That's the only reason I allowed myself. Because when it was just rumors, I was like, I'll kind of half watch.
Yeah.
Didn't I say, let's watch our normal shows, but I'm not going to just sit around and wait for Beyonce.
Yeah.
But then when TMZ reports it, you're like, well, you know what I mean?
TMZ, they get stuff right. I'm not going to lie.
Well, this is the end. I used to be a defender of them and their reputation. But no, I'm done because
you're dead to him, TMZ.
This is too big. This is too big of a mistake for me to continue to trust your integrity and record. So.
Okay, you heard it here first.
That was our claim to fame / DNC. Wow. Beyonce / TMZ segment. Okay. But let's continue on with Big Brother. No. That's right. Big Brother is going to be in this first episode this week. We love Big Brother. I've watched it literally since the premiere episodes. I remember the SUVs pulling up to the house / studio lot, and a very serious Julie Chen telling us how these people are going to be surveilled for 24/7. And Brooke has watched it basically all of her adult life, huh? Big Brother.
Yeah, probably I probably started in middle school, honestly.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was Bachelor that you started in college. Yeah. And so we are, I would say, pretty knowledgeable fans. We're if not knowledgeable, we are enthusiastic fans.
Oh yeah.
And this season has been everything from crazy to just crazy. Just crazy.
Yeah, it's been honestly, it's been unpredictable, except for the fact that Tucker keeps winning.
Exactly. It's been very predictable, and him winning, his moves have been unpredictable.
Yeah.
Along with
and the evictions have been unpredictable.
Right. I will give him that. And it's not just him. People are attributing that unpredictability to just to Tucker, but it also has to do with the good twist of the arena nights. Arena competition on Thursdays, and us not having no idea who's going home.
Right.
Even if they have plans, that could all change.
Right.
So we have endured a week of Tucker's HOH reign.
Just stomping on everyone.
And
I can't with the steamroll. That's so boring to me.
It's incredibly boring.
When the same person wins over and over and over. And he's so arrogant about it, but he can be because he keeps winning. Yeah, they start. When you win that like that, and you start getting that self-righteous. You should have been honest with me. I'm coming. I'm changing things in this. I'm like, okay. It's exhausting.
It truly is. And I just knew that my fellow Big Brother fans on Reddit and on the communities would come out and be like anti-steamroll, but some of y'all are so Tucker-pilled that you are just giving in to this his repeated wins. And I feel like the house guests are too. Yeah. I don't know. I guess we talked about T-Core and Chemo flipping the vote last week. But that made sense. I like that.
You said that. I don't really think it does. I think it was too early, but I think they did it because Tucker keeps winning, and so they were like, we need to be on the winning side.
Right. Well, someone needs to get rid of Tucker.
Yeah.
T-Core can't win without... I mean, no one can win if Tucker wins, right? So that's going to happen one way or the other. The problem is, do you want to be at the top of the pile, or do you want to be at the bottom of the pile?
Well, yeah, I mean, you're right. But I feel like they're going to be at the bottom of that pile, too.
I think what they did was, this puts them as the fulcrum of the sides of the house.
Yeah.
Before, they were just the baggage that just was kind of hanging on. But in this position, they kind of dictate the moves that are happening instead of just being coerced by the larger majority alliance that was the Pentagon and the Collector.
Maybe, but I just feel like it would be so hard to work with Tucker because he's such a loose cannon.
I agree.
And it's like what he wants is going to go.
Well, I agree, but that's why I mean, you were either going to, he's going to win. He's been winning, you know what I mean? You can either try to steer the bull horns or just run away from it the whole game. You know what I mean?
True.
And I appreciate that they're trying to hop on and steer it a little bit. So T-Core won HOH. He won the wall competition. He also...
No, Tucker.
Tucker.
Yeah.
T-Core Tucker. Well, anyways, so Tucker won the HOH competition last week, which was the wall. I mean, I'm shocked.
Quinn held on to the bitter end.
Quinn is a rock climber, and I didn't know that until the competition, but you would think with the grip strength of a rock climber, he says he does it, once a week or twice a week? He should have been up there still today, but no, he fell off to Tucker, who said he was a former wrestler, so he's also got some strength there.
Yeah.
And immediately, I think we all knew, like, oh gosh, here we go.
Right.
And then he won veto. So... which was the hide and go veto, which we'll talk about. But he had all the power this week. He had all the power, and he tried to make it clear and make everyone think he was going to get Quinn out, but told Quinn privately, "Hey, I'm actually targeting Brooklyn."
Which do we like? How do we even know what he's saying?
Well, his diary rooms he's been pretty truthful about that, except for a little bit of last week. He seemed to be even lying in his diary rooms. But so you're right. I guess he's just a wild card on all fronts. Yeah. And so, long story short, we're going to talk about the actual week. But he won HOH. His target was Brooklyn. He won veto. Brooklyn went home. That's a lot of other stuff happened, but he got exactly what he wanted. At one point, people were wondering if really Quinn was the target, even him, because Quinn betrayed him and told Brooklyn about the plan. Right?
Dude,
didn't matter.
Quinn.
Rubina and all of them were like, actually, maybe we should keep the girls, get rid of Kim.
They were. Well, we didn't even talk about Tucker won veto and took Quinn off the block.
Yeah, exactly.
Which was like very odd, just to put Chelsea up, which Chelsea is not like, I don't feel like Chelsea's someone you would need to backdoor.
Right, you're right. That's a good point.
She did, however, win the AI Arena. Woo-woo, go Chelsea. So it then became between Brooklyn and Cam, and Brooklyn was like fighting for her life. Cam was doing nothing but being up Tucker's butt all week.
Yeah.
And then I guess at the end of the day, they just felt like Tucker felt like Brooklyn was a bigger threat. So they wanted to get her out, but they were at one point considering keeping Chelsea if Chelsea stayed up on the block.
Right, versus Cam. Yeah, it's just nothing more to say except he got his way. Brooklyn and Cedric at one point last week, when Cedric was HOH, like in the majority alliance, it seemed like they were sitting pretty.
Yeah.
They had their feelers out there. But no, this game has been wrecked by Tucker. And maybe in reality, that's why people like Tucker. It's because they were worried about the majority alliance steamroll. So seeing him break up those plans they like that more than anything else. But man, the craziness that comes along with it. You got to be, like I said, multiple weeks. You got to be pretty crazy to out crazy Angela.
Yeah.
So yeah, Rubina. Well, let's do this. Let's get a quick showman's watch. Do we have any?
Oh my gosh.
Any growth in any showmances outside, or just what do we got?
Well, we definitely, with Tucker being HOH, him and Robina spent some time together in the HOH room late at night. Mm-hmm. And we saw some stuff on the feeds. Mm-hmm. But Rubina is still on this kick of like not wanting anyone in the house to know, not wanting to be a target, wanting to quote play her own game. So they're like telling everybody nothing's going on. Well, then we see a clip from the episode on Thursday where Rubina and who was it? Was it Rubina and Tikor? Mm-hmm. We're talking about Tucker spending too much time with Leah and Mackenzie.
Right.
And they were like, what's going on with that?
Right.
Well, I also saw on the feeds that Tucker told Leah and Mackenzie that him and Rubina's relationship is like a brother-sister relationship. No. Like, what, bro?
It's just sloppy gameplay.
It's just crazy. So, and then at one point, him and Rubina, I guess, had a blanket on them, and they were holding hands under the blanket. And so then Leah goes to talk to Brooklyn, and it's like, what? Like, we know they're holding hands under their blanket. Why are they telling us like they're not a thing? Like, right. If you're a thing, just be a thing. It's like everybody knows anyway.
Yeah.
So there's that.
It's really actually social gameplay of Rubina and Tucker have been actually pretty sloppy.
Oh yeah.
It's just been covered by the fact that you can't get them out.
Yeah, for sure.
So.
And then Chemo and Tikor are besties. Mm-hmm. Like, they're gonna be looked at as a power couple.
100%.
For sure. And Chemo is messy.
Incredibly messy.
He has been just stirring the pot with everybody.
That, and he tells Tucker everything.
And I just still don't know. Quinn thinks that Tikor and Chemo are like his number one, and they're in this 3-person thing. But I just don't think that that's true.
It's not true. And let's talk about Quinn. And he's also just had horrible gameplay. He's been in a great position just about every week and somehow squandered it by talking too much.
Yeah.
Telling too much about his cards and his powers or who he's aligned with. It actually worked. This was the one week it worked because Tucker knew everything that he could say, and Quinn actually fessing up to it, and what he had told Brooklyn about his conversation with Tucker appreciated it. I think Tucker was always going to take him off the block, but in a way, this helped Quinn for once, talking as much as he did.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's in a isolated place because I don't think Cam trusts him. Chelsea definitely doesn't trust him. Anyone who's close to Tucker doesn't trust him, and so I don't know really what he's going to bring to the table. He says he's going to pretend to be on Tucker's side and then get him out, which I actually think is a good strategy. But for the most part, you just need to kind of be on the winning side right now and get out of people's way. Whoever wins HOH, just say, hey, whatever you want to do, let's get it done. I'll be a vote for you. For your plan, you know what I'm saying? So that's what he needs to do. Will he do that? Who knows?
Oh my goodness! I just remembered another clip I saw, and this may seem out of place, but I was just thinking about: is there going to be a battle back? All of those types of things. I saw another clip of Tucker in the house saying if he makes it to jury, he's leaving.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Like, what is wrong with you, dude?
Yeah, he said, I think the full conversation was, hey, I just want to make it to jury and then leave, and hopefully I'll leave and people will see me as a legend. And like, no, we won't.
He was like, I'm going to leave. I'm going to get my dog. I don't even care about the money. Like, I'm leaving. They have to let me go.
And he wants to be a legend, though. Like, that's the kind of thinking that to me is just like, what are you doing?
I know.
People, and I hope that doesn't invade people, how they play the game. Like, go out in a blaze of glory, don't care about the money. I just stirred stuff up and hope people think that's legendary. Like, no.
He already said, well, I already am legendary because I've won so much.
Yeah, he's won a lot, but people have won more, Tucker, believe it or not. And they were trying to win the money and win the game, and they stayed it out. And and gave us a good game. But what you're doing is, great for you. I would slow down on calling him a legend just yet. So yeah, you can't appreciate his crazy. Quinn, crazy. Let's go to our third stooge, our other crazy stooge. She didn't have much in the way of gameplay.
She didn't.
Last week we saw her beg to be in Tucker's Fish Tank Alliance, which has worked out for her because then he immediately won HOH. Yeah. She's got safety. Nobody's targeting her. She's a have-not, which leads to the only bit of drama we got from her this week, which was her lying on the floor, meditating, staring off, fuming because Brooklyn and company were eating her charcuterie.
I'm not even gonna lie, I would act the same way.
Same way. This is the very first time
the same
that I've
way.
related to Angela. And to be honest, I wouldn't have just sat there and done nothing.
I would be miserable if I was on slop, and I would be devastated if someone was eating my charcuterie board.
Yeah, I would say, look, this stuff lasts, first of all. I was awarded it, and I have not now. But what that doesn't mean is you get to eat all my stuff.
Right.
And if you don't, because if you choose to eat it, you know what I mean, that's fine.
Sure.
But I will target you.
Yeah. And then on her goodbye message to Brooklyn, she was like, "You ate my charcuterie." I
loved it. In the diary room, she slumped out of her chair.
Oh my God.
Sulking and crying on the floor. You kind of ate with that, Angela.
Yeah,
I'll agree. Not a fan, but I was like, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, but that was it from her. Cam in a weird place because who knows what he's doing or if he cares.
Yeah, that was another thing. I saw a clip of him and Tucker talking about, oh, do you even watch reality TV? No, I don't like reality TV. I only watched this when I came on here. And I'm just like, y'all are annoying.
Horrible.
For Tucker to not like reality TV, he sure knows how to be a great reality TV character.
Yeah, it is what it is, man, with him. Let's talk about Brooklyn. She's gone. When she came into the house, we knew that she was friends with Aaron from
BB19.
No,
sorry,
BB15, which is, I think, by most people's accounts, one of the worst seasons ever.
Yeah,
just to watch, and just the behavior people exhibited on the show.
Yeah,
it literally changed a lot about how they present the show now. But she's her own person. We got to see her be her own game player. She, of course, has great relationships with people in the house. She wasn't talking about people from what we saw outside of what's considered acceptable.
I will say she may have let her emotions get the best of her this week.
Yeah, but that's no reason to hate her. Like, people hated Aaron.
Yeah, true.
People hated Aaron and still hate Aaron.
Yeah.
So yeah, she definitely, I think she played a part in her own downfall.
Yeah.
But
it is annoying to me that she really tried and Cam did nothing. Besides, again, be up Tucker's butt. And right. She got sent home.
And she made good points. It's always a good point to be like, I'm a shield. Like, yeah. I'm not going to come in here and target anyone else but Tucker. Like, yeah. why get rid of me? It is a good point. I'm glad she fought. Julie, I'm sure, is glad she fought as well. We know Julie likes to remind them, hey, get their campaign. You know what I mean? Work for that. For that. Check. So, yeah, Brooklyn is also from Texas, so I was kind of semi begrudgingly rooting for her because she's from Texas, but she's from Dallas, which is not Texas. So she left. She's not. It doesn't seem to be any indication from what Julia said or the house guests that there's battle backs or anything like that.
Yeah. Well, and we've seen other people already go home, right?
Right, but we haven't seen anyone. She hasn't said anything about stay tuned for what might happen or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Although I haven't seen some of them on social media. I haven't seen Matt on social media.
I have.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Oh, now that you said that, I think I do remember her saying. I haven't seen Cedric, who's beloved on TikTok.
Yeah, I haven't seen Cedric either.
I've seen so many TikToks of teen girls crying, sobbing that Cedric was going home, or people closing their laptops right before he got evicted so they didn't have to deal with the pain.
Yeah.
Didn't realize he had such a strong fan base, but good kudos to him. Yeah, I think that's it for this week. However, we are recording this after the completion of the HOH comp. We didn't stay up to watch feeds live to see it, but spoiler alert for those who don't want to know, we're going to discuss who did get the HOH this week. And the HOH for this upcoming week of Big Brother is T-Core.
Shocker.
We went from Tucker to T-Core. I'm a little confused as to why she would want to win this HOH. I think her and Chemo are in such a good spot.
Yeah.
Why purposely make enemies right now?
Yeah.
That was a little, or like have to draw a line in the sand of who you're truly loyal to. So that's a little confusing, but who knows what the competition was and why she felt the need to win. Maybe something happened where she felt targeted and felt like she had to win for her safety.
Yeah, maybe.
What do you think who do you think is going to be going up? I saw some of the stuff that was being said online. Maybe she's looking for Tucker to volunteer again, which I think would be genius. He's volunteered so many times. You could appeal to his ego no matter what he says. Like, you're the only person in Big Brother history that we can count on to win these. And that's not true, but just say that. To win these consistently, can I put you up to use as a pawn so I can make sure the person I want to go goes home and they don't win veto? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but then you run the risk of him winning.
Well, yeah, but this is what you say. And if you tell him this, then if it happens, you were on his side. I would be like, Tucker,
yeah,
I need you to win the veto. That's why I want to nominate you right off the back.
Yeah.
I need you to pull another one. Win the veto. Don't use it. Don't use it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have to nominate anybody else. The two people who want to go home. Then I need you to win AI Arena. Take yourself off the block, and then we'll send home the other two. And just pray that for whatever reason he loses AI Arena and y'all can swarm. You know what I mean? That's the only because it's just, who knows? Because if you nominate him after veto ceremony, he is going to know he's a target and motivate him to win AI Arena. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Like, if you try to backdoor him, he's going to know.
So, who knows what T-Core is going to do?
I know. At this point, I'm like, so she's talked about not wanting to put up, or not wanting any more people of color to go home. And she had made, did you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
So she told Chemo, her and Chemo were having a conversation, and she was like, 3 people of color are on the block right now, and I don't feel comfortable with that, basically. And
didn't she? But she engineered sending Cedric home.
Exactly. So that's what the comments were full of. So I would be surprised, is what I'm saying, though, is if she puts up Cam and Chelsea.
Well, definitely. I don't think she wants to put up Cam and Chelsea, which is why
I'm surprised. Who even would?
Which is why I'm surprised she became HOH this week.
Yeah.
Because why do that? You know what I mean?
I mean, maybe Leah and Mackenzie, but then they also helped with the Cedric thing.
Right. Leah and Mackenzie are kind of maybe the easiest because they're not winning anything. They don't have any strong alliances. No one's going to be mad that you targeted them. But it's such a lame, let someone else do that then. You see what I'm saying? So it'll be interesting. I need to get inside her head and try to understand why it is.
Yeah, we probably need to watch some feeds.
Yeah, we have been, but we're not going to get a chance to. We're going to.
I know.
It is our anniversary this weekend.
Oh, happy Annie.
Happy anniversary.
5 years.
I was about to sing a song, but there are no anniversary songs. Huh?
Oh, maybe, yeah, I'm sure there are. We could sing our wedding song.
Which is?
What we walked out to.
Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, I get what you're saying. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what T-Core does.
Yeah.
We really have no idea. But speaking of T-Core, let's get into as we wrap up our Big Brother and this episode, who are our favorites and our least favorites, or the worst, or whatever you want to call them, for this stage of Big Brother 26.
I'm still rocking with Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
She's my favorite.
Okay.
Least favorite at the moment is Tucker.
Okay.
And who I think is gonna win? That's tough. That's a tough one.
Okay. My favorite is T-Core. I was rooting for Mackenzie because I didn't have anyone else, and she's from Houston, so I defaulted to her. But she's doing literally nothing. Literally nothing. And so T-Core, with the move she made and listening to her reasoning, I said it while I was watching it this week. I'm like, okay, I'm a T-Core stan. Sign me up. So that's who is my favorite, who I'm rooting for. My least favorite, it's a tie between Tucker and Angela. And then I would say who I think is going to win is Chemo.
Interesting.
I think Chemo is kind of laid back and nice and participating in all these moves.
Yeah.
Equally to T-Core, but for some reason I think T-Core was going to take more of the blame.
Yeah.
Which leaves her a little bit more exposed. Tucker likes Chemo better. I could see a situation where he's protected a little stronger than T-Core is.
Yeah.
Chemo ends up being the one at the end who gets to take credit for all of his and T-Core's moves. T-Core's injury, she supports him. Bam, Chemo wins.
That's fair.
So that's my prediction. Have you thought of your prediction yet?
I was almost kind of thinking Cam. I was thinking because he's laying so low.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if eventually he'll start winning.
Yeah, maybe when Tucker goes away, he replaces his.
And then he kind of swoops in at the end.
It's possible. Well, that's it for Bachelorette and Big Brother 26. We are not done though. We've got another episode releasing shortly, or maybe it's already out. And it's going to be a Love is Blind International Extravaganza. We're going to deep dive into the finales of both Love is Blind Mexico and Love is Blind UK. And so if you're interested in that, you watch that, come to the next episode and talk about it with us, or listen to us talk about it. As for this episode, thank you for listening. You can follow us at The People's Rose on social media, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Tumblr, Threads. We're there. Reddit. We're there.
I didn't even know Tumblr still existed.
Well, it's got a pretty active BB community. That's why I have one.
Okay.
They make pretty good Big Brother GIFs over there.
Oh.
Yeah, so that where you can follow us there. You can follow us on your favorite podcast, a subscription platform. Hopefully, whatever you're using to listen to the podcast, you go ahead and follow us and subscribe to us if you haven't. And listen, we're even more beautiful than we sound. Come look at us on YouTube. Or my wife is, at least. Come look at us on YouTube.
My husband.
There we go. Come look at us on YouTube at The People's Rose. And follow us there as well. It'll really help the channel, help the podcast, help us grow. But thank you for listening, and we hope you continue with the next episode. Any more words, Brooke?
Nope, that's all.
Okay, bye.
Bye.